Hey there everyone! Apologies for continuing to use the cell phone as a camera. I promise I will get back to my camera sometime soon, but I have not yet figured out a good way to do that in this new spot of mine, being my parents' house, actually. So I wanted to take a quick minute and give an update on my planner. My bullet journal for 2017, just give you a quick run through of how I have it set up for this year so far. And then I will move over here. No, these are part of this. Actually, I'll move over here for the next video and show you a little bit of my travel journal that I kept while I was gone in Austria in January. But that's going to be later. So, starting out, I have my white bullet journal, and you can sort of see here I have this clear cover. This is, I believe it's just called cheap book cover from Nanami paper, and it just wraps around the whole thing. And I got this because you can kind of see here almost immediately my beautiful white bullet journal got spots, and that irritated me. So I got this little cover and absolutely adore it. And let's see how I set it up. So first things first, I taped together these first couple of pages just because I don't like how they always kind of, you know how that is, the first page where it just kind of is a weird size because it's a little bit glued, and I don't like it. So I taped it together. I'm planning on collaging over here, maybe doing like a vision board type of a thing, but haven't gotten to that yet. I just started filling in my index yesterday to see if I can make this work. Now, what I had in mind was I'm basically going to have to fill this out a little bit in advance, because I don't see the purpose of filling page by page and still having everything randomly in here and not convenient to locate when I need it. So I've tried to group things a little bit. I started out with my Calendex, and I only did 6 months at a time. So I put the first 6 months, and then I left space for the second 6 months, although I'm pretty sure I will not get to that second 6 months in this bullet journal, but we'll see. And then my quarterly plans, I have one set up in the book that you'll see, and then I left space for the others. I have a couple of trackers related to finances, and then I have day pages, weekly pages, and editorial calendars for my Witch Hazel stuff. Now, the weekly pages, I decided to group them all together as a unit this time and see how I like it. So hopefully that'll work out, and then just have the day pages following that. I said before in a previous video that I don't like that, or I didn't like it in my old planner, but I'm going to see if I can come to like it in this one. Alright, and then I used the second page here, so there's a total of 3 index pages. I used the second one for lists. I don't like keeping a lot of lists in my planner because I tend to not look at them often, and to me that screams wasted space. But I'm going to give it a try. Alright, first things first. I have, this is my year, and I need to decorate around this somehow a little bit, and my year at a glance. This was my trip to Austria, done up in blue. I have another trip coming up in March to Oregon, and this is NaNoWriMo in pink here. And yeah, other than that, I have no huge items here yet, aside from a couple of birthdays. I have my quarter plans. As you can see, I did not complete this, although it's a great idea in theory. So maybe at some point I finish this, or I do better with quarter 2. And then my 6-month Calendex for January through June. I don't have much on here yet. As said, I don't have much planned yet, but hopefully that will start getting filled out soon. Then I am in my, this is debts and savings and debts. And this, I absolutely love this. It's my favorite song ever. It's from Star Trek Enterprise, I believe. It's a theme song. But I found it earlier, or I found it not related to that. I liked the singer who sang this. It's Where My Heart Will Take Me. And I had his album and it was on there. So I've just always liked that song, and I think it's a good one. A nice, upbeat, optimistic song for the new year. Then I have Income Tracker. This seems really big, but this is kind of a dream income tracker. It goes all the way from $3,000 a month up to $100,000. So yeah, if I can get to like here, I will be so happy. But I figure this might be a fun thing to test out. Over here this is where I wanted to put my list of 100 things to do this year, but I have not done that yet. Here is my new expense roster. These are my monthly expenses divided into stuff that comes out of the bank and stuff that comes off of the credit card. And then I have my annual payments. Things like museum memberships and stuff. I put a little, this is a things I want list, things I want to buy. I don't really know that I like it there, but so I may move it. But for the moment, that's where it is. And books to read. However, I did this poorly. I got new watercolors and I wanted to test them out, so I painted it in right away. But what I should have done was put the titles of the books that I want to read in here and then color them in as I go. Oh well, bygones. I have read one book so far for the year. It was lent to me by my uncle while I was in Austria. It's called Lamb. It's the Gospel according to Biff, Jesus' childhood buddy, and it is hilarious. I highly recommend it to anyone and everyone. Alright, and then I start in on my day pages. Day pages, day pages. More day pages. This was all January. I wasn't here in January. And then I did decide to put the Get Things Done schematic in here from, what's his name, David Allen. Just because I really liked this the one time I tried doing it, and I want to do it again. And then I go into my weekly layouts. These are the same as they were before. And I just did all of February all at once. And then back into day pages. I also have a couple of ledgers in here and things to remember from a magazine. These are class suggestions that looked like fun. And my editorial calendar for Witch Hazel's Cauldron. And that's all I have in there so far. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention is these little guys. I got these, it came in a pack of 3 from the dollar store. And this is where I am attempting to draw out the Get Things Done stuff, because I don't know that I want to have the lists in my bullet journal, because I don't like having lists in there. So what I did was I split it up between, this is basically the brain dump portion of it. Anything and everything that comes through your inbox, I put it all here. I added these lines on the side. And then I decided, is it a project? Is it part of a list? The L's over here. Is it a someday maybe? I kind of categorized everything. And here's my key for that. And then I took those items and put all the projects onto a project list. Of the projects, I starred the ones that I want to work on currently. And for each of those, then I began a tasks or next actions list for those projects that I can mark off as I go. So that's how I'm using that. And then the last one here is for all of those items that I said were lists. I have music, books, YouTube ideas, writing ideas, things I want. So this is like that one I had in the bullet journal. I may just transfer everything over. Magazines I want to check out or read. Someday maybe list. Book of Shadows. I've got quite a few lists actually, which is one of the reasons I don't know that I want them in the bullet journal. The only problem with this, so far this is really nice to test out the system, but almost immediately I found the flaw in it, in that there's a project I was working on and I wanted to see what the next step was, and I had my bullet journal with me, but I did not have these. So I could not reference what I wanted to reference, and that irritated me. So I'm still going to use these for a while until it seems like this system will stick. And if it does, when it does, I may transfer it into the bullet journal. Okay, that is it for my update on my bullet journal and my planning so far for this year. Hope you enjoyed it, and coming up next week I will show you my little travel journal that I did while I was in Austria. Till then, have a great week, and yeah, till then, have a great week. Bye.